So the entire sports card market is dead. That's what people are saying. Are we experiencing a crash? It's actually not a crash. I would call it a correction. Once again, are you going to be able to get Luka Prism rookies for pennies in the dollar? Are we going to get to the point where sports cards are completely worthless? No, of course not. But there's going to be corrections. There's always going to be corrections in the market. And that's just the reality. I think you have to understand is right now, we haven't even hit the NBA playoffs yet. So that's why the NBA card market is down right now, and it's kind of soft because the playoffs haven't started. We haven't figured out what teams are going to go deep in the playoffs and which aren't. We kind of have an idea, obviously, with the Jazz and teams like Suns. Okay, we know these teams are going to contend. But what I'm seeing, there's a lot of injuries, tons of injuries in the NBA right now. I'm not sure what's going on. The NBA is not how it used to be. I'm not saying it's soft, but man, people just are getting injured left and right. What we're seeing is a correction. And just so you know, my eyes are kind of watery, dealing with some allergies. But the thing you have to understand is it's all cyclical. The market goes up, the market goes down. The market can't continually be hot. You can't just be in a hot market all the time. There's going to be rises and falls. The market's going to be hot at times, and then sometimes it's going to soften up. That's just reality. With the NBA, we haven't hit the playoffs yet. The season's about to end. A couple games. The season is going to end. We're going to figure out who's going to play who. There's the play-in tournament. Baseball, same thing. The baseball card market's starting to soften. We're starting to realize the thing you have to understand is that hype and speculation drives the market. A lot of the market is just hype and speculation. And that's before. So, for example, with baseball, there was a lot of hype and speculation behind certain players before the season began. Once the season began, then we kind of find out who's playing good, who isn't. You see what I'm saying right now? Mike Trout is just hitting freaking cover off the ball. So his market is doing really well. But across the board, yeah, we're experiencing a correction. It's not really a crash. It's not a crash. It's a correction. That's what's happening. Really across the board. Maybe in a couple years, maybe in a couple months. Once, like for example with the playoffs, with the NBA, once we get into the playoffs and, we start to see teams, go deep into the playoffs, we start to realize, okay, who's doing what, who's playing really good, who isn't playing really good, and maybe the basketball market starts to heat up again. It will. It just will. Nothing to worry about, really. Another thing you have to understand is with pop counts. It's crazy. Luka's base Prism PSA 10 pop counts over 16,000. The supply, the thing you have to understand with the sports card market, the supply is, on a lot of these cards, is just so much that the market's just flooded with these cards. I don't know how many. We're talking tens of thousands of Luka PSA 10 Prism rookies. There's so many of them out there that it's affecting this market. His market is down. Luka's market is down right now. Unless he does something really big, if they get into the playoffs and they go deep into the playoffs, his prices just can't. I mean, this is the crazy thing. Luka's base Prism rookie was like $400 to $500 for a raw Luka base Prism rookie. $400 to $500. That's a lot of money. He hasn't done much. Yeah, he won Rookie of the Year. He's playing really good this year. Is he going to win MVP? No, he's probably not going to win MVP. Might be Giannis. I don't know. Maybe Steph. No telling. Maybe it's Joel Embiid. But $400 to $500 for one of his rookies. He's a great player, man. He's a generational talent, but is his base Prism rookie raw worth $400 to $500? I don't know. I don't think so. To tell you the truth, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for most people. So we're seeing a correction. There's a lot of supply. 2020 select football, excuse my French, there's a shitload of that stuff out there. There's just a shitload of select football out there. It's a great product. I love the cards. They're really nice looking. If you can get them, if you can pay MSRP and buy blasters and get mega boxes of blasters and sells at MSRP, you do really good. Beautiful cards. But there's just so much of it out there. And then they added the club level. So you got the 4 levels for each card, each rookie, each base, veteran, whatever. Not too crazy about the inserts, but there's just so much of it out there. And people are saying, well, this product is just loaded with rookies, and I'm pulling Burrows and Herberts left and right. That's probably not a good thing. People were complaining with Prism, man, it was so hard to pull a Herbert-based rookie out of Prism, at 2020 Prism football, or a Joe Burrow. Maybe that's why Prism's the king of the hobby. It's hard to get these cards. It's hard to pull to get the big hit out of Prism. They did that for a purpose, for a reason. There's a reason why it's hard to hit a Herbert or a Burrow. Panini wants Prism to be the king of the hobby. Panini wants Prism to be the king of the hobby, and the only way it's going to be the king of the hobby is if you open the product and it's not loaded with all the great players and the rookies and stuff like that, and the good rookies. They're going to be hard to pull. It's going to be hard to pull a Herbert or a Burrow out of Prism, especially to get it in good condition and with the centering good and the surface good. It's hard to pull a Justin Herbert base Prism rookie and have it go PSA 10, even PSA 9. The centering's really bad with that stuff with Prism football from this year. Even with Prism basketball this year, the centering's really bad. You're still having issues with print lines and surface issues. I like Prism better than Select. I still think it's the king of the hobby. I love Optic too. My favorites are Prism first, number 2 Optic, number 3 Select. Select's a good product. It's a nice looking product. But 2020 Select football, there's so much of it on retail shelves. Now they're selling it via retail. There's so much of it out there, and you got hobby stuff too. There's just so much of it out there. The pop counts are just through the freaking roof compared to Prism and even Optic, if you really think about it. Well, no, Prism, the print run on Prism is a lot. It's really a lot, especially like Prism basketball. But there's still a lot of Select out there. It's easy to get the big hits, the Burrows, the Herberts. You've seen them everywhere. The market's flooded with them. I don't think it's a good thing. I still love Prism. So as I'm saying, the market, it's correcting. We're not going to get to the point where you're going to get really high-end stuff for like pennies on the dollar. We're not going to get to the point where the stuff's just worthless. We'll never get to that point. We're just going to have the corrections. I think graded vintage is going to make a comeback. That's going to start to get really hot. Because if anything that's vintage, that's graded really high is good. Anything that's condition sensitive that you can get the grade really high, that's a good thing. Graded vintage is going to be hot. I think it's totally undervalued. Graded vintage, any sport, it's undervalued. And that's just the reality. In my opinion. Yeah, grade your Prism stuff, your Select or Optic, grade that stuff. There's still a demand for, graded, modern graded. There's still going to be demand for that, obviously. But yeah, we're dealing with a correction right now. Market's kind of softening up across the board for all sports, really. Hockey, I think, is kind of heating up right now. But as far as like basketball, baseball, the market in those sports is kind of softened up. Football is obviously heating up because of the draft just ended. We know who's going where, who's playing for who. So right around July 4th, that's when it starts to kind of heat up as far as the football card market is concerned. But yeah, crazy times. This is the reality. What goes up must go down, and that's just the reality. That's what you have to prepare for the dips. this is the best time to buy basketball and baseball. When the market starts to soften and stuff, you can buy stuff for really, really cheap, or not really, really cheap, but you can get good deals on stuff. You buy the dip, you buy low, you sell high, because it's gonna go back up. What goes down must go up. Market's soft, this is a good time to start buying stuff and getting good deals. Buy at the dip, once it goes up, then you sell, you make a profit. And remember this, you can never, ever, ever go broke making a profit. You can't do it. We're experiencing a correction, just get through it. You gotta be courageous when people are fearful. And just remember that when people are fearful, you gotta be courageous, so you gotta keep going. And you just gotta get through it. Get through the downs, and just be grateful for the ups. That's all I got for you today. I will talk to you later.